wasn't expecting to have to clear my windows this morning though. That's not a lot of fun, is it?
I don't tend to use a scraper. I just sit in the car and let the wind. You know.
I used a little bit of warm water in the end. Well, that's it.
With a black jacket on, that's no good. I just couldn't wear that other one because it was too cold. Too cold for me. Don't want to take it home. What? Fine.
How much is that, please?
Fine. I'm a father sale today.
Yeah.
Livio.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
About what?
Five, 6, 7, 8. Thank you.
How much are they, please?
£5. Sorry. £3.
No? I'll buy a Perial garden glove because I cannot feel my hands right now. That was a bit of a mistake this morning forgetting my gloves. Oh, there you go. Okay. Thank you.
It's 4 cars actually. Oh, it's 2. So the car's all inside actually.
Get it out. Just double check, I'm sure they're a size 9. I was selling them for a friend of mine and probably she paid 350 quid for them when she bought them for a kid. I know, it's a ridiculous price, isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm sure I read it size 9. Don't know. Michael took over and then... Yeah. I know you used to get some nice little gym there.
I wonder what happened to it. No, I haven't been out
Yeah,
there.
Michael's still about, he does car boots, but...
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bad car.
Because they said, where did you go to? Well, we did go to the pub, but yeah.
Sorry, my darling.
You alright? Not too bad, you?
Thank you.
I know, that's why I'm here, mate.
£8 is the lowest I'll go. Oh dear. The other two are, that one isn't. The other two
Yeah.
are.
How much are they?
Sorry?
How much are they?
I'd like £10 for the blue.
Yep.
Probably £12 I'll take
got
on
a
that
lid,
one,
okay.
yeah. And just a couple of pounds on that one because it isn't what it is.
Cool. Thank you.
If you give me £20, you can take the free.
Okay.
It's a real good bargain.
Just have a think. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
You're doing the same as me.
Probably.
Yeah. There's a few first editions in there.
Right, the paperbacks are £3 each or 2 for a £5, but the first edition hardback ones are £10 each or 2 for 15.
Okay, great, thank you.
Go over here a bit. I could get a tan here.
Go on then, you get a tan.
Fire, they used to make fire using fire bows. Yeah. Make fire with. Okay. £2.
How much your boots, please?
Bit more for them.
Okay.
£1. I'll send you that pair for £1.
Okay. And these ones?
15.
So you said £8 and £1 for these, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Right, back from my first car boot sale of the year, and instead of taking the estate, I took the sports car because, well, I'll go into the reasons later, but yeah, I've done all right this morning, quite happy with that. Right, I'll speak to you in a little bit. Welcome back to the channel. Today is the first day back of the 2022 car boot season for me. It is the, what is it, 2nd or 3rd of April. So yeah, been pretty good today. This year, I'm being a little bit more, not cautious, that's the wrong word, considered with my purchases. There's quite a few reasons for that. As you can tell, change of background, I'm in the garden today. And you can probably see there's a bit of roof there. This is the unfinished Tat-cave, which I did think was going to be done by December. Not a chance. It was just, yeah, it's taken a lot longer than expected. But if you're going to do it properly, it's going to take a little bit longer. So it's not the end of the world. Anyway, so for this year, definitely having a little bit of a more, I've always been very considered with my purchases, but it's going to be more considered than normal for the fact that the idea of this building is to get the Tat out of the house, but it isn't going to take over this. This is going to have one entire wall of storage. The rest of it is going to be family use as well, but also I can use it for my photography, etc. So that is the plan, but it means I need to, whilst I am still building this is taking up a lot of my free time. Therefore, I don't have the time to invest in the cleaning and selling and whatever else of the eBay stuff. So that means this year, stop buying big items, stop buying items that require work, as in a lot of work. So really filthy items, because that takes me, so for example trainers, because it takes me time to clean. breakables that are going to take me a lot longer to pack, and just be more considered that whilst I've got I see money to be made everywhere at the car boot sales. The problem is, if I buy everything I see that will make money, I will have a complete house full of tat, which I cannot have. So I need to be more considered about how quick it will flip and how much profit it will make. And at the minute, I kind of want to keep my profits above £25–30 after all fees and purchase costs, etc., if possible. Now there is going to be the odd item that slips through that under that, but that's where I really need to keep it, because whilst I'm building this, I've only got time to list maybe 5–7 items a week at the moment, if I'm lucky. So those items that sell have to be bangers all the time. There's no point in me making a tenner on an item for the fact that I just don't have the time. Still got a massive backlog of stuff, so why would I get bread and butter items when I've already got a shed load of literally a shed load of bread and butter items? You could say, why am I going car booting still? Well, I still want to pick up the gems if I possibly can, and hopefully today I got a couple of those, so I'll take you through those in a moment. But other little things, because I'm trying to restrain myself from buying big items, that's why at the moment I'm going to the car boots in the Porsche rather than the Audi estate, for the fact that if I've got the smaller car with me, I can't physically bring the items back, which is stopping me from buying, which is, for the minute, is a good thing, because I do need to be more restrained with my buys. So yeah, today haven't actually spent an awful lot of money, but I still think I've got some pretty damn good items. For those who are new to this game, a few little tips for car boots. The earlier you get there, the better. There are so many professional resellers now and amateurs getting up early that if you're not there early, all the good stuff's gone. So get there early doors. Another thing for me, I have a backpack with me. In my backpack I have water, because I don't want to go spending money on drinks there. I have a snack with me. I have a thermos in the car with coffee in it. This is brilliant. This is made by Stanley, and after a couple of hours I'll still burn my mouth on the coffee and that. In your backpack, this is where I'll have all of my sort of bag for life type bags, because you don't want to end up going to the car boot and not having bags. It's just a pain. So have all those. If they're in your backpack, it means your hands are free to rummage, and then when you need to, you can whip them out, put stuff in there as and when you go along. Other tips: don't monkey about with going to the cash point on the morning of the car boot. Be prepared, get it all ready beforehand. For me, rather than going to a cash point, I'll go to the bank during the week and I will specifically go to the counter rather than the machine, and that way I can ask for a certain amount in tens, a certain amount in £5 notes, a certain amount in £1 coins, and a certain amount in 50p's, 20s, and that means that I am there and not having to worry about people who don't have change for the item. I'm there. I can get in, buy it, get out without worrying, and then get on to the next item. So it's a big deal being prepared. Something I made the mistake of today, it was freezing and I didn't have any gloves with me and I couldn't feel my hands. I ended up buying some gardener's gloves at the car boot just to keep my hands warm. So whilst it's a bit nippy, it might be worth considering bringing a scarf and some gloves as well. But what I'll do now, I shall crack on. As I said, haven't spent an awful lot, but I've got some killer items, so I'll take you through them. So first item, and arguably the best, is this. Can't see what that is, can you? And it's a full face visor. So it's more like an open face but with a chin bar. And it's a Schubert J1. This was £200 new or thereabouts. I've researched it since. I bought it blind for the fact that I knew Schubert was a good brand. Didn't know what the comps were, but I know motorcycle helmets can go for a lot. When I asked how much, he said 5. Wasn't going to argue. I'm sure I could have beaten it down, but it's just not worth mucking around. £5, pay it, get out, get on. That would have been 200 new. Looks like they go for, I haven't seen many of this specific one comps, comps wise, but I would have thought anywhere between 80 and 120. So absolute banger with my first item. Next, bit of a random one. This. Any clues? It's a Velbon, what was it? DL11. I saw it, didn't know what it was, but I know Velbon make tripods. And the guy at the stall said, if you know what it is, you can have it for £1. Didn't really know, because I was thinking, well, it opens up like a tripod, but it doesn't have the camera attachment bit. Then I figured it out. So these open out like a tripod, and these also extend. What it is, this is a tripod dolly. So it will sit like that. Your camera tripod sits on top, and each of the tripod legs sits in the corner and gets screwed in. And the wheels mean that you can have your tripod on there for making movies or whatever, and then the dolly bit, as in a dolly is for moving an item. So this means that you can smoothly move your tripod around a film set, or whether it's your camera lights on there, whatever. And because it's all extendable, you can use that for basically any size tripod. So as I figured out what it was for, the bloke said I could still have it for £1, so I did. Looks like these go for around £20 to £35. So it's, as I said, I'm trying to increase my margins, but it's easy to pack. It was cost me £1, so my outlay and risk is minimal, and it will be somewhere between, say, 25 and 30 odd quid. So bang up with that, happy with that. Next, these are the garden gloves that I bought because I was so cold. £1, but I'll use them in the garden, so fine, I needed garden gloves. Next one, I've always mentioned, as you know if you've seen my previous videos, I like to buy decent quality footwear because you can get it at a sensible price and you can make decent margins on it. As well as footwear, I specifically look for specialist type shoes. So I'm talking about motorcycling boots, hiking boots, cycling boots with the clip-ins, that type of thing. So anything that's got some sort of specialist use typically has a higher price attached to it. So I managed to pick up these pair of hiking boots. These are Caramore, not the best brand, not the worst brand, but Caramore, and these are waterproof as well. So I always look for things like Gore-Tex. This doesn't have Gore-Tex on it. Caramore, they have some expensive ones and some not expensive ones. These do need a bit of a clean, but they're not horrific. The blokes that if I had these at 8, then I could have these. These are 5.5, so women's 5.5 Timberlands for £1. So I paid £9 for the pair of those. These will fetch 35 to 45 depending. I mean, wear's pretty good. I'll get them looking pretty much brand new again, so that's good. These Timbs I'll get looking good again, 25ish. So yeah, quite happy with that. So 8 into around the £40 mark, 1 into around the £25 mark. Again, not doing too badly. Right, last couple of items. Now this, I didn't see the brand at first. All I saw was, I don't know if you can see, made in Italy. Then I felt the collar and I thought, oh, that feels nice. That feels like it's probably got a bit of cashmere in it. Let's have a closer look. And it is 70% wool, 10% cashmere. And it's a Alessandro coat. Now, I wasn't sure, and I thought I haven't got time to do a comp here because there's quite a few people about. Made in Italy, it's cashmere and wool. Alessandro sounded like a designer brand, but I really couldn't place it, so I thought it's worth taking a punt. Anything up to say £8, maybe even £10, I'll probably take a punt on that because it would be way more in a charity shop, and it's a bit dog hairy, so I thought I might be able to beat the price down. She asked for 4. No, she asked for 5 and I said, would you take 4? And I took it at 4, which was great. Having looked at comps since, Can't find much out there for this particular brand, but it does look like I should still be able to get around at least the £30 mark. So it's not a fail. I'll still make decent money on it, but it's not as much as I thought it would be, so not the end of the world. However, whilst I say it cost £4, as I was putting it into my my little carrier bag, looked on the floor and I saw a £2 coin. I thought, oh, there you go. Well, that helps. £4, and I've got a £2 coin, so that brings it down to a £2 cost for the coat. And then as I picked that up, I saw another 40p. So it's only cost me £1.60. So all good. And then my final 3 items, all from the same store. And this one, it was a van, and it had all sorts of stuff, but there was a pile of clothing that wasn't neat. It wasn't like a jumble sale. It was sort of, it looks like they were folded and people had gone through them. First thing I noticed with these stripes, and I thought, right, okay, that could be Paul Smith maybe. Paul Smith, lovely. And this is a cotton and silk mix, and I thought, Paul Smith, it does typically go quite well for me, but I'm not too sure about these colours. So I had a look at that. I thought, let's look through the other stuff just in case. If we've got one Paul Smith thing, we might have more. And found this, and it's a diesel polo. Now, as I said, I was only looking for bangers. I took the punt on these two for the fact that these are my size. So if I don't decide to start, well, actually the polo, because the polo I'm wearing now, this is a Hugo Boss picked up at a car boot or a charity shop, and it's now got a hole in it, so it's now one of my garden working t-shirts. And I thought, well, I need to replace that. So I managed to get the pair of these. He wanted £2 each, but then I also saw he had some trainers, did a little bit of a deal, and I paid £8 for the lot. So I'm going to chalk these up at £1.50 each, so that's for me to wear and keep. Quite a nice diesel top, medium. And then this one, I probably will sell it, but that is a silk Paul Smith fine knit sweater. So £1.50 into 35 to 40 thereabouts, so good margins. And the last item from that was a pair of Nike Free 3.0 running shoes. I've done well on this style before. The prices do vary. These do need a bit of a clean. As I said, I'm trying to stop buying stuff that needs a clean, but I'll clean these up relatively quickly. The tops are in good nick, it's just dirty at the bottom. I reckon I should be able to get between 35, maybe 35, maybe even squeeze towards 40. I'll list them for hire, but these are more of a running shoe than a fashion shoe, and I've typically done very well out of those. Other little things where I was happy, so whilst there was minimal wear on the heel, you can see that, and then inside, minimal wear on the insole as well. Always check the insides of the heel to see if there's holes, because that's a nightmare. See if people have stamped the heel counter down when they've been getting them on and off, and that often leaves a ridge, which is uncomfortable. The laces are in good clean nick, so it's just the bottoms that need a clean. So all in, I bought a few bits for myself. So once I've taken out the bits for myself, so including my £1.50 entry, about £25 today, and I reckon that will get me around the £270, £290 mark. So yeah, after fees, I don't know exactly, I haven't quite worked it out. I always chalk up fees at about 18% of whatever the total sale price is, because I take into account you've got your fees plus the VAT on your fees, and then I also promote my listings as well. Not everything sells through a promotion, but I've worked out on average over the last 6 months that my total fees work out at about 18% of whatever the sale price is. So if I assume that, then that makes it a little easier for me to do my calculations. So yeah, for £25 out, not too bad. So as I said, I'm not going crazy with the buys this year, but that means that I've got a bit more time to get this built, because I need to get this done. So this is going to have plywood wall. I'm going to get some second-hand, either off Facebook or eBay, French windows there and there, so it's nice and bright in here. Got to put the floor in, So I've got my work cut out. So if I'm building this, when am I selling stuff? So I need to rein in the selling and the things that, as in rein in the buying, and then focus the items that I am buying as higher profit items, because why would I muck around with something that's going to make me £5 or £10? Which means that there's, at the car boot I'm going to, there's plenty of money being left on the table by me. So there's money there for all sorts, but for me, I've just got to try and go for the bigger margin items this year. So yeah, that's it for me for the moment. Let me know if you've got any questions. How did you get on at your first car boot of the year? Was this your first car boot of the year? I'm still going to do 2 a week, but then if I'm doing 2 a week, that means I can be really, really restrictive on myself and conscious that I really should only get the best of the best items. So even now, looking at these, should I really have picked up items that are only going to make me 20 quid? Probably not. So as long as I don't make too many it's not like that's an error, but I just need to, with the time available to me at the minute, I've just got to be a bit more focused. But yeah, upwards and onwards. So I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching, and stay out of trouble.